when you maintain the consistency and when you're disciplined and just put your head down and just work at your craft, things pay off.
Like Tyson said, doing what you don't like to do, but doing it like you love it.
That's like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
It's God, family, and purpose.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the AbadAssLife channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew Abad. I'm your host, and the purpose of this podcast is to bring you people who are experts on their field or becoming experts and are going to give you the tips and tricks that you need to get to where you want to get and craft your own badass life, whatever that looks like for you. And today we have a super special episode because with us, we have somebody that is the definition of someone who is living his own badass life. He is an extremely successful person. He's mastered his health. He is an amazing father, an amazing boxer, a great God-fearing man, and somebody that I've learned so much from, and he's become like a brother to me. Thanks for being here with us, bro. Kahlil.
Oh, man, good to be here, brother.
Here's Kahlil, God's warrior, Smoot. Thanks for being with us today, Ben.
Hey, man, always good to come see you, brother.
So, we've done one of these before, but now is way more exciting. Not only because you just came off your title belt winning fight and you crushed that, but we are just keep doing more and more and more things together, and this thing is becoming real, right? I mean,
yes, sir.
Things that we're starting to talk about when we first met each other, and some of our projects, some of the plans that we had are starting to really be around the corner. Can you tell us a little bit, for the people who don't know you, the people at home, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Who are you? Who's Kahlil? What are your goals? What defines who you are as a person?
Yeah, man, Kahlil, God's warrior, Smoot. Always a pleasure to come, man. Now we got heavyweight title on our resume. But it's just a start, man. Everything, I'm getting excited, man. Every day I'm getting better at everything, man. I'm the best version of myself right now, man. That's what you want to be. Anybody out there, man. Just wake up and be better than you were yesterday. And always growing, always looking at the past for a second to scope out what you want to do, and then living in the present, man, and not stressing or worrying about the past or the future, but living in the now. And now, yeah, man, it's exciting to be where we at now, man. It's fun. It's exciting. We glorifying God. It's a real good time to be alive, man.
And these are what everybody talks about as far as when you maintain the consistency and when you're disciplined and just put your head down and just work at your craft, things pay off, right?
Yeah.
You got the belt now, you got the momentum. We are right around the corner from starting Lions Den, which is gonna be like a new home and having a new spot to train.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about that? Are you excited?
I'm very excited, man, to have our own gym, our own home, and just create an atmosphere where fighters can come and just people in all walks of life can come and really work out and physically find the best in itself, join a brotherhood or a sisterhood, and just get pushed. And we stand by the words, iron sharpen iron, man. So anytime you around us, we gonna look to make you better, and we want you to look to make us better, man. No egos, just people making each other better. That's the atmosphere we gonna have, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. I think that's being one of the main reasons as to why we gravitated towards each other. I think like you said, iron sharpens iron, and we have certain things that we've been able to help each other in different aspects, and it's kind of been like a good complement, right? And I just want, me personally, I want to create a whole network of that around here in the gym with Lions Den, with everybody that's in our circle, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? Just collaboration, helping other people reach their goals. The more people you help, I think the more you grow in general, and the more goodwill you're basically putting out there, right? So things just come back when you do things that way, in my opinion.
Nah, you're absolutely right, man. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you one of my favorite quotes is do more, be more. The more you do, the more you become. And then the more you become, the more you're capable of doing. So that's why each time when I'm training, I'm whispering to myself, do more, be more, do more. You know what I'm saying? If you add that to whatever equation you have of life, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna come out with more, man. You're gonna come out successful.
Yeah, I'm still sore from like the one more you tell me at the
Of
gym
course, man.
when you keep pushing
But
me.
nah, you've been kicking butt, man. You've been kicking butt. I'm real proud of how you coming along, man, and the discipline and the commitment you showing to that. Because that's not easy, man. It's not easy. It's like if coach says sprint day, you know what I'm saying? Just going there, it's like an anxiety, like, who wants to do that? Because it's so demanding. You pushing to 90 to 100% of your capacity. And but that's necessary, man. Like when you're lifting weights and I'm telling you to do, and you on your last rep, and I'm like, all right, 3 more. I've never seen you complain, never seen you say no.
Well, that's the one thing, like for me, whenever I put my mind to something or I get to finally do the thing that I want to do, it's really hard to break me down. Like I have that mentality. I think for me, one of my biggest challenges is like get to it because, life happens, family, businesses. It's really hard. I'm not like the most organized person. That's something that I keep trying to better myself at and better myself. And for whatever reason is one of my biggest challenges. But like getting to the gym is like one of the things that limits me the most. Once I get there, like for the most part, I try to like push myself as much as I can and whatnot. But like I think like that's one of the things, and not just for me, it's for a lot of people. I think a lot of people is like making the first step of like getting up off their couch and heading to the gym is like one of the hardest things, because once you're there and you get on the rhythm of things, and at least maybe it's just for me because I actually like it. I enjoy it when I'm there. But just like making my way there is like the hardest thing. I think a lot of people can relate though.
Yeah, that's the first step. But I mean, once you do, you're able to, you know what I'm saying? It's addictive. You know what I'm saying? From the endorphins and dopamines that get released while you're training, while you lifting weights, while you even jogging, the runner's high. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of yourself is addictive. And then, you know what I'm saying, when you look in the mirror, you look on the scale and you start to see, you know what I'm saying, just getting out of bed is easier, getting in and out of a car is easier. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, man, will make it addictive. And you know what I'm saying? It's good to congratulate yourself. It's good to pat yourself on the back and say, you know what I'm saying, well done, keep it up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's important that people's self-talk is positive. And something like weightlifting or training, any kind of training, boxing, any kind of training or physical activity or reading a book even. You know what I'm saying? Studying something you're interested in or a direction you want to go and really taking a step, man. Oh, pat yourself on the back, man. That's important. You're living as opposed to just being alive.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 1,000%. Like I think uh your health and your fitness journey as a man, especially when you're trying to perform at like higher levels in business or as the head of a family or anything like that, your health and your fitness is like a key part in being able for you to like fill that role on all the other aspects. It's because I think it's like the one thing that helps you feel better about yourself, that brings in that confidence when you know that you say like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym 4 times, 5 times, whatever commitment that you make to yourself, and you actually keep that commitment. Just by doing that, you start instilling confidence in yourself. It's like, okay, I can trust myself that I follow through what I do. And not only that, but it has so many added benefits. Like I've been in conferences and masterminds and things with like very, very high level entrepreneurs. And there's this one guy that's very, very well known, Dan Martell. He has a book that's Buy Back Your Time. It's a great, great entrepreneurial book. And one of his main things is like his life changed whenever he has started taking his fitness journey very, very serious. His motto is like exhaust the body, tame the mind,
Mm.
So it's so true. Is like he tells a lot of his mentees, he's a mentor, a coach. He tells everybody, it's like, oh, you want to start a business? Go to the gym first for a year, 6 months, however long, and make sure that you're consistent at that. Once you've achieved
Wow.
that, go and start your business.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I think it's like the best, some of the best like business slash entrepreneurial advice, even though it's not necessarily related with business, but it's like, okay, you want to be able to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, all this stuff. You have to have like, discipline. You have to be able to honor your commitments. You have to do things you don't want to do. So all of that, it's like involved in fitness and in your health journey, right? And all that stuff, like keeping up your commitment with the gym, as simple as it sounds. So how did it start for you? Like when did you realize that this what you wanted to do as a career, become, a professional boxer? Like how did that like unfold it for you?
I've been fighting all my life, man. But I just tied in with you know what I'm saying? At first I was a big soccer person, like you were, but I
Hmm.
was focused on soccer, man. It's focused on soccer. But just always grew up fighting. Of course, you know what I'm saying, my background coming from DC, you know what I'm saying, coming from the hood, the projects, you know what I'm saying? We fought every day. So that was just normal. That was just a normal part of life. But you know what I'm saying, as I grew up and walked into a boxing gym at one point, and it just all started clicking, man. It was all started clicking. God put me in that position and said purpose. And my big thought always, man, is God, family, and purpose. If anybody talking to me, if a person want to have a conversation with me over 5 minutes, it has to involve one of those three. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's the nucleus of my day. That's all I'm thinking about, all I'm going through. If you ask me what I'm doing, it probably surrounds one of those three: God, family, and purpose. So it was just right that I would be a fighter. I feel like my ancestors were fighters. You know what I'm saying? I come from a long bloodline of fighters, and it was just if this was 10,000 years ago, I'd be on the battlefield somewhere fighting for, you know what I'm saying, Israel. So yeah, it's just naturally where I'm at. And my purpose is not just fighting, but I'm saying whatever God want to take me from this is the nucleus. This is what I'm doing. This is in my DNA. So yeah, this is where I found myself and where I was placed.
I think that's like really important for anybody to know, right? Like what's your nucleus? What's like the things that drive you? What are those things? For me, it's what I call the core four too, which is very similar. It's like health, wealth, relationships, and purpose. And with relation and not necessarily in that order, right? Like wealth is very important, but it's not necessarily second. For me, like health is one of the main things, and then relationships is like the most important thing. And with relationships, I'm not just talking about like your wife or, it's just everything, your relationship with God, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your coworkers, with your employees, with your friends, with
Definitely.
your wife. Relationships are like one of the most important things for me, because at the end of the day, that's what we do. A lot of the things we do is just to, first of all, meet our purpose, or fulfill our purpose, but secondly to, make those people's lives better that are in our circle, that are like the close relationships that we have. And health obviously is, one of the ones that I'm trying to focus the most now, because that's kind of how I like judge my life in a way. And a lot of the times I've said like, okay, I'm not being true to myself. I say that it's health, relationships, wealth, and purpose, but I'm just focused on wealth. I'm just too focused on working.
Mm,
Like it's a little bit out of balance, right? Like my relationships are not where I would want them to be. Like I'm neglecting my family a little bit. I'm neglecting my friends. I'm, all this stuff. And like for me, it's like if you're very intentional about things and you're going through these seasons where you know that you just have to work a little bit more to make things work, to make things happen, to make things
absolutely.
work, then it's okay. But as long as it's intentional and you feel those people in, right? Like for example, me and Jen, like she's had like so much patience with me because I'm a very ambitious person, and sometimes I go in seasons where it's like I work 20 hours a day. And now with us having a kid together, obviously if I continue doing that, it's gonna hinder the ability of me to be able to be there for my kid and all this stuff, right? But thankfully, like because of the fact that these are seasons, I've been able to now kick back a little bit more, spend some more time with him, and kind of like tweak the way I do things, and for those things to be a little bit more balanced, right?
Right.
Because I've always said this, like when it comes uh to businesses and work, or like the career path. It doesn't necessarily have to be business, but for you, for example, you are your own business. Like you are the business, your career. When you focus too much in the one thing, you realize that the things sometimes you're neglecting the things that are driving you as to why you're focusing on that, right? Like for me, it's like I want to create wealth and have this and have that for our family to have the choice. So I'm doing this not just for me, for my family as well. But they are paying the price because like now they don't have me because I'm over here too focused on what I'm allegedly doing for them. You know? So
Yes,
like
sir.
finding that balance is like, how do you manage, like, because I've known you, I've seen you want to train like 24/7, and you're at the gym a ton and all that stuff. Is there anything that you do to like balance that time with the kids, time with your significant other, all those things?
Yeah, of course. Key word is balance and communication. So I think if you communicating with your family, your close friends, and your significant other, and whatever you're doing, and if you communicating, and then they're on the same wave, y'all kind of in the same plan, then they kind of understand what it takes. And sometimes it can be difficult, and sometimes you have to take away from that. But if you start every day, say with $1, you only have $1. You only have 24 hours in a day. So how you navigate that, and it has to be precise. You know what I'm saying? It has to be just like somebody might count micros, and they have this nutritional plan. You have to have a day plan. You know what I'm saying? And your team, your family, your circle, you got to include them in that plan so they have an understanding of why, in my case, I train so much, and they understand the drive, they understand the purpose, they understand the vision. The vision you might have, you definitely would have to share with your significant other, because they have to share that same vision. They have to understand that vision, kind of like Noah and the ark. His wife and kids had to kind of buy into him building this ship in the middle of the desert for God. You know what I'm saying? So if he was just doing that all the time, they would have thought he was crazy. But they had to buy into that vision, share it, believe into it, and then and I'll possibly, you know what I'm saying, help him build it. But the point was, it was successful because he included his circle in it, and they supported. You know what I'm saying? The support is key, man. It's big, and that our circle does support us, and does help drive us. Never gets in the way, because everything we doing as men, as leaders of our house, of businesses, of whatever we're doing, or a woman in that position, is I'm building this empire so I can give it to my kids, so my family can eat off of it. So they have to understand it's not fun going to the gym all the time. It's not fun being there 3 times a day, or waking up and doing cardio and doing this and doing that. It's not. I mean, God blessed me to find joy in it, but at the same time, it's not always fun. It's taxing. But long as they understand the vision, and I stay, and they also watch you. They watch you, and they watch if you falter or if you deviate from the plan. So if you're focused, if you're driven, if you're passionate, if you're consistent, then most of the time the people in your circle will follow.
If you're an expert on any field, or a successful entrepreneur who wants to be featured in our podcast,
I loved it.
make sure you click the link below, fill out the application, tell us a little bit about yourself. If we're a good fit, somebody from our team will reach out to you.
What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up?
And you need to get ready to start inspiring our audience and become a part of the AbadAssLife podcast. I'll see you soon. Wait, there's one of the things you just said now that like really hits home for me. It's because I saw it also in the movie that is one of my favorite movies. When you said like they're watching you, like talking about like your kids.
Yep.
There's part of this movie is called Born a Champion. It's actually a fighting movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but you got to check it out.
I think
if you
you
haven't.
told me about it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
There's one part where like the main character has a kid,
Uh-huh.
and the kid's growing, right? And he tells his friend, the real job of a parent is not to tell your kid how to live his life. It's just to live yours correctly and let him watch as a dad. And that like just hits home to me so much, man, because it's true. Like they're watching everything that you're doing. They're watching, and it's like if you just give them a good example and you hold their hand and guide them the right way, like you don't have to tell them what to do. They'll know what to do. If you instill the right principles, if you instill the right values, all of those things, like it's something that I'm very new at, because I have a 2-year-old now. but it's something that, just stays in my mind 24/7. Even while I'm working, sometimes when I'm working out, it's just random thoughts that comes like, okay, am I doing things right? Like if he was watching me right now, would he be proud?
Mm.
You know.
That's an excellent way to motivate yourself and to keep you on that narrow, correct path, that righteous path.
Tell us a little bit more about your last fight. What did you learn about your last fight? What was going through your mind while you were in the ring? I mean, I was there with you. I think it
Right.
was pretty exciting. Like it was a great time. It was a very memorable moment. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, man, appreciate your support for being there. Always been support. Always been in my corner, even when you haven't physically been in my corner. This one you were. So yeah, man, it was a good fight. Even when I came to the corner after the fight, like immediately to get my gloves taken off after knocking him out, it was my brain was already like, hey, this is the adjustments we gonna make. So I'm always looking to grow, man. I'm always looking to get sharper. Like even if I knock somebody out in 30 seconds or it takes me 6 rounds to get them out of there, I'm always gonna be like, all right, what could I have done better? What could have been sharper? So this one, my reflective thought was, of course, was just cardio. My endurance was I say questionable, but I knew that going in because we had some injuries that prevented us from doing the kind of cardio we would be doing to train and be prepared for an 8-round fight.
What I have to say is, to be fair with you, like you've been knocking him out so quick too that you haven't had the chance to go 6 or 8 rounds too.
Yeah.
So that was something that you haven't like really done a lot. So
But
um,
but it added to the experience because as we level up, as we start to fight better opposition and better opponents, and we level up and go for other titles and do bigger things where God take us, we're going to need that experience. We're going to need the experience of being gassed out or being what I'm saying, winded deep in a fight, deep in that water. Like you find out if you're a tuna or you're a shark. And you know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Mentally, that's all mental. Physical is there. Any athlete can train physical. Anybody can train physical. But that mental toughness, that mental sharpness, that mental willing to go to the edge and jump off that cliff if necessary is what we got to see and got to. So I mean, I appreciate my opponent for taking it there, but I know I had a death touch in both hands. So I know it's a matter of time, but being took in there and pushing my cardio and just being put in a rough spot, whether it was from training or whatever, or lack of training and cardio and the stuff that I needed to do. Because training, we always top notch, but just the cardio was missing this time because, like I said, an injury. But seeing the resolve come out and being able to perform under those conditions, under that hindrance, under that handicap, and still be able to come out, still find a way to win, make a way to win was important going forward and where we're going.
When you are in that spot, right, that you weren't let's say comfortable, or like you had to like really dig deep and say like, okay, is there anything that you go to, like as a person, like is there anything that you think of that motivates you, anything in particular, or is just like the drive of like, okay, I need to do this? Is there anything deeper than that makes you come out like the Rocky movies where like he comes back at the end like with the last breath or whatever? Like, is there anything like that drives you, or is just that like we need to get the job done?
Yeah. In my mind, always 24/7, every day, every second of the day, I'm in kill or die mode. Every day, it's like tensing a muscle, and that muscle not being able to untense. Like I have to tone myself down, my thoughts all day, every day when I'm around humans, because I'm thinking kill or die all the time. So being in a fight like that, being taken to the edge like that, that's normal. Plus, Coach Jermaine takes me there in training every day. Every day there's no off day. Every day in some kind of form we being taken to the point where your body starts to question is about to die. So we're comfortable there. I'm more comfortable there than I am speaking on camera.
What do you think are like the traits that anyone out there like would have to have if they're found like a fighter career? Like I think like they're very similar to to business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But from coming from you as a professional boxer, what do you think are like the key um, traits that someone needs to have in order to make it in that space?
Um, the big D, discipline, man. Discipline, discipline, discipline. And that's what any like you said, in business or anything. But discipline, man. Doing, like Tyson said, doing what you don't like to do, but doing it like you love it. You know what I mean? Just from getting up every day to being consistent, from good days to bad days, still going forward. Might have a bad sparring day, might have an injury still working around it. You might just be tired one day. But if it's on the map that you're supposed to work, if that's the plan, you stick to the plan. You know what I mean? So discipline, and discipline will unlock. That's like the key to unlocking success in life. You know what I'm saying? Anything you driven at and anything your goals are, man, do it disciplined. Like be consistent. Be hold yourself accountable. These things, man, you'll see that like the world is your oyster or whatever. Like the world is literally in your hand.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's absolutely true. I think discipline and consistency are the key to life, like you said, the key to unlocking any type of success in any industry, any part of life. There's this one thing that I like really like that says like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
True.
And every time.
Yep.
Like I remember like me growing up, I was a competitive soccer player and I think that I had a talent. So sometimes I would like let off the gas and next thing you know, there comes this 2-year-old younger guy than me and it starts like just dribbling around me like it's nothing and making me look dumb. And I'm like, I'm way better than this guy. How's this happening? And it was like, yes, like you take your eye off the prize, you start stop training as hard as you were. It doesn't matter if you're the most talented person in the room. There's somebody out there with enough discipline that is doing it every single day, probably for way longer than you ever did when you were training.
Right.
And, like, I mean, to an extent, there is like certain people that have certain aptitudes for, a particular thing. Like if you are, 5'4" and you want to go into the NBA, like it's going to be really hard and you're going to be fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And somebody that is, 6'8" might not need as much work, is naturally just going to beat you. But in general, like you see a lot of those people, like the NBA analogy, that you would think that they might not be able to make it. And with enough consistency and discipline and hard work, they've shocked the world and shocked everybody.
Right. Yeah. If a person looking for an excuse not to make it or not to achieve it, they'll find it. Like there's nothing, and that's what I want people to take from my life. Through God, of course, man, God has to be everything to you. And through that, it's nothing you can't do. Like even say that example, a 5'4" guy. Most people would grow up, they're 5'4", they see that their kid's not going to be much taller than 5'4", and they'll say, basketball's not for you, until somebody does it. Now there's somebody in the NBA that's 5'4". Now you have 5'4" guys saying, hey, that's possible. So whether it's your age, whether it's your height, whether it's your ethnic background, whether it's like your genetics, whatever, or if you want to get into business and you're saying, man, well, I wasn't born with the money Donald Trump was born with. But man, if you're writing the blueprint for somebody else. So if nobody else did it before you, fine, man, be the first to do it. Be the one to break the mold, and people will find that reason to keep going and to pursue their dreams. It is nothing you can't do, man. Don't and a lot of people find reasons to cop out, like injury, and the injuries can hinder stuff. Or I've seen people say, hey man, I had kids, so now I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna do it for your kids, man. Like never stop living, man. Never stop living. Like you have a purpose and a gift and a talent. You're gonna have to answer for to God one day, for the creator of everything. You're gonna have to sit in front of him and answer for your talents that he gave you just from birth. And when that happens, you wanna be able to say, man, I used it to the full of its extent.
Yeah, I did everything that I could do, right?
Right.
And I think that's what you find the beauty of it. It's like when you truly, really just fall in love with the process, with like, okay, I want to, like, because a lot of people like want the end result, right? Like they want to achieve the goal. And
Yep.
That's it. And I've told you, like, I'm part of those people sometimes where I'm like very goal driven and I go and do whatever it takes to get the goal. And once I get there, like it's like, okay, now I'm let off the gas. And that's just obviously not the right approach. I've realized that at least for me, it's not the right approach. And when it comes to like fitness, it's also not the right approach because like it's just a way of life, right? So falling in love with actually going to the gym, with actually, feeling the pain. Like we were talking about the other day, I couldn't feel my whole body. And I was like, it's a good pain though. Like makes me feel good. Like I like it. As opposed to just doing it enough to see like a little bit of result on my arms or like the six pack or whatever, like just falling in love with the action in itself. That the byproduct of it is the result, not just focusing on the result, is what makes people be able to, keep it consistent and continue doing it. Because it's really hard to, just do things that you don't like day in and day out. Like
Right.
eventually you'll give up. Like if it's something that you like absolutely hate and despise, like eventually people will end up giving up, right?
Yep.
I don't care what you say. I mean, you can be Goggins. Goggins is like complete, superhuman or whatever. But like most people, like the average person, at some point will give up. So like learning how to like the process and like find the joy in the process because you know that eventually will take you there is like definitely I think like one of the keys of remaining consistent and starting building that discipline. What you were talking about, like we set our own limitations because of like the next person said it or because we might not believe that we can do it and all that stuff. I heard somewhere, I'm probably gonna butcher the dates and like the actual facts on this, but it's just like the concept is what's important, right? Humanity in itself thought that running under a mile under 4 minutes was impossible, right? Nobody had done it up until I think it was like somewhere in the 1940s or something like that. I don't remember, but nobody had done it. Everybody thought it was impossible. Then the first guy did it, like right under 4 minutes, and then the record was shattered like 82 times within like the next 18 months or something. It might have not been 82 times, but it was like a high number. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what you were speaking to is like somebody does it, proves it that it's possible, and then it kind of like unlocks that like, okay, it can be done for the rest of us. And then we follow and like get it done also. Right.
Right.
But it takes that one person. It takes that one person that believe enough in themselves or that said like, I don't care if people think it's impossible. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
So you be that one person to be the person in the mirror, man. Make that person the mirror. Make that person the, you know what I'm saying? Your blueprint, your driving force. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You do it, man. Whether it's people telling you too short or too tall or too fat, too skinny, your ethnic background is wrong. You're too old now, whatever, man. Just get out there and do it. Like whatever it is, man. Like the world is like once we pass along to the next life, we're gonna see that, man, this was okay. Like this could be figured out here. And now we could unlock anything. And a lot of stuff is just like breaking free from your emotions and feelings, man. Because sometimes you'll get caught up in I feel like going to the gym, or I feel like being a good husband today, or I feel like being a good father or a good wife, or man, I feel like being that today, or I don't feel like being that. Get out of your feelings and just be great, man. Be great every moment, every time you show up, be great, man. Today, any day could be your last day. Be great that day, man. Be the best you that ever walked this planet.
Dude, that's powerful, man. That's true. That's how we all should live. I think it's we get so distracted with life and don't realize that, like you said, any day can be our last day, right? So what would you say, what would be the advice that you have for those people who want to, get into their fitness journey, who want to, start working out, start feeling better about themselves, doing all this stuff, like better their health, but they just can't seem to find a way to do it. Like, do you have any hack for all those people out there?
Yeah, just start. I mean, join the local gym. You can join me. We'll have some stuff up online here shortly where you can look my name up and I have some workouts and some programs for anybody out there looking to get in fitness or to get in shape or to learn to fight or anything like that. So that's something you can look into. But no, just get involved in something, even if it's okay, after work, you put your headphones on and you go for an hour walk, and then just be consistent with it, and it'll take the wheel in the car, so to speak, and it'll start driving. You'll notice you started walking. Now you're doing squats every 10 minutes. You're doing a set of squats. Now you're wanting to join the gym. Now you're eager to go swimming. Now you're getting on your bike. Now you want to be outside more. Now you want to, you know what I'm saying, eventually climb trees. Something you just want to see yourself starting to go into that more active direction, man. So the first thing is just the first step. Like if I want to walk from here to California, it all starts with one step. So if you take that step, you're on your fitness journey. Just that first step, and you literally on your fitness journey.
Yeah, that's great, man. Sometimes we just got to keep it simple and, get back to the basics and just start.
That's it, man.
I
Just start.
I've asked so many things to so many people, and a lot of the time has been like the same advice is just start in different things, not just, in fitness, but in just across multiple things in business, life, anything in general. Is just, get to it. Take action. Do it quicker.
Put that social media down, put the phones down, and get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000%. One of the things that I like to ask everybody that comes in the AbadAssLife podcast is, what is your favorite quote and why?
Favorite quote and why? So many. Just no feelings, no emotions. That's a quote I made up some years ago. But it's just like I was talking about earlier, just disattaching from what I feel like or the emotions involved in something, and just doing it, man. If you have a mission, your mission is to glorify God, or it's a simple mission, just to be a great dad, or be a great employee, or be a great boss, or whatever you want to do, man. Just do it, and disattach with I feel like today, I don't feel like today, or I'm angry, or I'm sad, or this and that, and just do, man. Just do.
That's great. That's something that I tell Jen all the time. It's like, it doesn't matter how I feel. Like, I have to do it. I have to get it done. It has to get done. Like, who else is gonna do it? Like,
Right.
Doesn't matter, right? Like, you don't care. Like that. I'm a big believer in that too. Like, doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what your feelings or your emotions are at the time. If there's something that you have to do, it's got to get done. And I think like there is some like healthy grace that you can give yourself, and
Of course.
sometimes kind of like doesn't have to be that rigid, but like majority of the time, especially as men, sometimes you just have to do whatever you have to do. It doesn't matter whether you feel like it or not.
Right.
Right.
Man.
There's
That's
one
it.
that I really like, and I think you'll like this one too. It's actually from an unknown. It's an African proverb, and it says, "If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm."
Mm.
And I think that's part of a lot of the stuff that I believe. Like, you are, like you said, the one in charge of your future, the one that makes that blueprint for your life. And if you are really focused into that, it's really hard for any outside source to like cause you any harm in any way. And when it does, like, you just recover so much easier. Like, if you are in control of the person you want to be, the person you are, everything that drives you, everything you have within, I think self-sabotage is like way, way bigger or much of a bigger factor than any outside external source.
Yeah, that's real powerful, man. That's a powerful thought. That's a powerful thought, man.
So for everybody at home, like, where can they find you? I know you said, like, they can follow your journey as a professional boxer. We are going to have like our gym pretty soon. That's going to be open up here for anybody here in Central Florida, for everybody in, Ocala. That's where it'll be located. But you're also going to be doing a lot of coaching and like personalized plans for fitness and how to help people get in shape, and or also like people or men that want to become fighters, stuff like that. Where can they find you? How can they get a hold of you?
They can reach me on Facebook at Kahlil Smoot, KAHLIL SMOOT. That's my Facebook. Or reach out to me on Instagram. Follow me anyway, at Kahlil God's Warrior Smoot. Just contact me through social media. And yeah, we can get started, man. Like I said, like he said, it was in 2 weeks that the doors open. So we really excited about that. We're gonna have a lot to offer y'all about just mental and physical and spiritual health. So definitely check us out, and big things in the future. We got some big fights coming up, big plans to get some more straps. So it's strap season. So we on the hunt, man. It's killing season. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch. So y'all stay tuned and don't blink.
Let's go, champ. Thank you so much for taking the time to, come in here and just tell our audience a lot of the things that they really do need to hear if they want to level up their life, right? Because that's what this is all about, really, is bringing people like you that are going to give like the right advice for people to be able to live life in their own terms. That to me is what a badass life looks like, right? It doesn't have to be anything that anybody else does. To me, is just have the option of being able to craft the kind of lifestyle or life that you want for you and your family, and just like double down on that, put all your resources towards that, and feel fulfilled that way.
Definitely, man. Well said, brother.
All right. Thanks, champ. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Tune in for the next episodes. We're going to have every single week. They're going to be dropping on Wednesdays, I believe. And we'll have way, way more people that are already living their own badass life telling you how to do yours. I'll see you guys next time.